By the way, she updated us. She said that it was Yahoo Dating.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yahoo before search engine was a dating site.
Yeah.
Guys, I read that the MTV Movie Music Awards are on tonight.
Oh, yes.
Wow. The
So
VMAs.
I feel like Eric's watching them in the background. Everyone
I'm
looks like he's frozen, and I'm like,
I'm watching the
What's the
Flyers
Flyers?
game.
Yeah, Flyers.
Yeah, I'm watching. I got the Flyers on. They gave up a goal.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it was pretty rough the other night.
Yeah.
Not the VMAs. You guys are really showing your age now.
In preparation for this, I actually looked up the 2000 MTV VMAs, which was held like 2 weeks after this time.
Was Lady Gaga at that one? Was that the one she wore the meat dress?
2000?
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Brittany and Christina.
I thought that online dating started 2 years ago, and apparently it started in 1995. Do you think I know when Lady Gaga did anything?
You remember everything, Brianna. This is shocking to me.
Except for online dating and
the VMAs.
that.
I feel like it'd be like the hot. I feel like it'd be like the Hot Boys.
that's
Who's
Lady
that?
Gaga with a bubble around her head for this year's.
Is this year?
Yeah.
it's just-
Social distancing.
Well, all right. Here are the nominees for top hip for or best rap video at the
no.
VMAs.
Yeah.
All right.
One's got to be a Puff Daddy one.
Wait,
No.
2000?
The nominees are
Eminem, one of them?
Party Up,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Eminem, The Real Slim Shady,
Yep.
Eve, Love is Blind,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Eve's
Dr.
debut album.
Dre, Forgot About Dre, featuring Eminem,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z featuring UGK, Big Pimpin'.
Oh, wow.
Good songs.
Jay-Z is 50 years old.
If you guys want to see any good shows on BET, they got these like short documentaries called The Chronicles, but they have one of Rough Riders. They have one of Master P.
Oh yeah, the
they're
Master
really
P one was good.
And they will take you down memory lane. Like the Rough Riders one, the Eve, like you get to see how she made that song. But like going through, they're like 40-minute episodes, 5 episodes. It'll take you back to memory lane. Like, did you see Jeff? Did you see the Rough Riders one?
No, I need to watch it. It's just been a hectic couple weeks when I get home from work. But I seen the Master P one. That Master P one took me back to like high school and college. It took
Yeah, I got 2 episodes from Master P left. But they're good shows.
I've been watching.
I've seen the previews for the Rough Rider one, so then like on my 40-minute commute home, I've been banging DMX Pandora because I was like, I started getting hyped, like seeing the previews.
I've been watching them, and Leslie Weber has been watching them, and I forgot last night she wanted to see if we could if we could just throw out DMX quotes in the room last night, because DMX is like, they tell this story about DMX like no showing some show, and they call him like, what are we supposed to say? And he goes, tell him that real dogs eat blood. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean?
It was the music awards. It was the MTV Music Awards. He did it twice in a row. 2000.
I think
2000.
3.
Oh yeah.
I think like 99, 2000, 2001. Yeah. And they call him. And he's like,
I didn't know he was such a crackhead. I didn't know he was that. But
Dude, he was gone. Like drugs was consumed him. I probably find out more watching that, but he had so much talent, just the drugs got the best of him.
yeah, he was a crackhead the whole all of it. He was always like crack cocaine was his drug. I didn't know that. Like,
well, the crazy thing, I always knew I've known for a lot of years he was a crackhead. What I didn't know was he got hooked on crack by hanging out on the street. Some guy handed him a blunt. He was like 14, 15 or something.
Yeah, and it
was laced with crack, and the guy didn't tell him. And that's how he got hooked.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's like crying on this document. I mean, it's wild. It's a great.
It's good. You guys should check it out. I'm trying to tell you. It's like it'll show you like the backsides of all their stories, like not the limelight. Like even Eve's story. I didn't know she was signed to Dre. You know, like I didn't know any of that stuff
Dre had a lot of artists that he just failed with. Busta Rhymes.
until Eminem came. He was like, "Here's my golden ticket."
Just like Snoop.
Yeah.
Just like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
MTV Best Pop Video nominations were Christina Aguilera, What a Girl Wants, Blink 182, All the Small
Like
Things,
Mandy Moore.
Destiny's Child, Say My Name, Britney Spears, Oops, I Did It Again, and NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye.
Jesus Christ, we're old.
Wow.
So old, bro.
All those songs I could put on at any time and jam the fuck out.
Yeah.
They're all well known. Yeah.
I can't say I haven't put those songs on in the last week.
Those songs are like all fucking epic. Yeah, they're all epic songs.
Listen, I still listen to the NSYNC Christmas album. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
Merry Christmas.
It's good.
Happy holiday. Yeah, it was a jam.
Yep.
Was the jam.
Jess, when did you go out to California?
So I graduated from college December 05, moved out here January 06. But see, I have family out here. So
Okay.
like 4 of my mom's sisters live out here. So I used to come all the time since I was little. So what I did the summer before I graduated, in summer 05, I came out here and did like volunteer work with like juvenile probation and like established residency. I got my license, opened a bank account, and had already applied for I initially wanted to be a juvenile probation officer or work in a juvenile hall. So I did all that. So I moved out here in January. I was in the police academy in October. It was not on my path. I was in the police academy the same year, but my uncle used to be a DA in the same county. So he was like pushing me, and I'm like, I'll just apply. So it's 14 and a half years. It'd be 15 years in January.
Wow.
But honestly, if I didn't get the career going, like, I probably would have moved back. Because at the end of the day, I told my husband, I was like, man, I'll retire. I'm not staying out here. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, so how long do you have will you be there before you would retire?
my goal, I'm on year 14 right now. My goal is to retire hopefully in 6 years. But I'm trying to line up some other stuff on the back end. Like I'm trying to line up I'm working on some nonprofit stuff or whatever. Just working on little things so that way I can retire. We have a 3% at 50 retirement cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So if I stay till 50, that would mean I'd have to stay 13 more years. Not my plan.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to line up some other stuff. My goal is to at least maybe go to about 44, 45-ish, and then just bounce out. But
Yeah,
I'm in a good
imagine
position.
it's a lot physically too, right?
Well,
it's
yeah,
like physical labor.
I've done the jail, I've done the courts, I've done patrol, and I'm at the academy. I've been to the academy 2 years. So pretty much I get to yell at grown men and women that are like my children, my adult children. It's a 6-month academy, so I yell at them. We train them. I get to work out every day, and then you watch them go off into the world. But if I'm about to ride this for a while, and then if I get tired of that, maybe move over to background. So it's like really not taxing on me.
So it's not too much like on your body.
Yeah.
like
So
physical labor.
obviously, like I had to go to the fires. I went to work to jail because I'm patrol trained. They want to send us, and then they'll put like newer deputies in the car with us. They'll double us up. So like little things like that. Granted, Northern California is always jumping off with something, so I'll have to deal with those things. But it's not an everyday thing. Like
You're not like that.
I'm over it. Like I felt like I did been dabbled in a few things. I went out on patrol, and right now I'm not trying to go back. Like my old sergeant was trying to get me to come back to the crime prevention unit. I was like, no. It's too crazy out here right now. I'm good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I pretty much wear a t-shirt and shorts every day for the most part, unless we're got a new academy coming in our graduation because we work out all the time. So it's a nice gig, but my body starts to. That running takes its toll, though. We run a couple miles a day, like
Well, and you're
not a day, but in the training in PT session. So
but I could run like a quarter of a mile and then
Yeah, are
fall
you
on the
lapping
ground.
them?
You're running like 10 miles. How many miles do you have to run a day?
well, it depends on what we're doing. Sometimes in the beginning, like we got a class that started at the end of July. So with the fires, we really hadn't been able to do a whole bunch of running. I think they're in week 6 starting tomorrow. So we had like some computer issues, so they couldn't take their written test on Friday. So we ended up having like a 3-hour impromptu PT session, in which I think they hated us all. But we did like that day, I think we did a combination like 5 miles, hill running and flat ground. But it's like the nice thing is when I'm tired, I can just stop and yell at the people in the back while, if my legs is a little tired or if I'm like, dang, I'm not feeling it today. Like I'll be like, I tell my partner, y'all go in the front because each one of us, like, will be like, we're not feeling it today. But then there's people that are always straggling, so you can just kind of slow down or stop and yell at them while you recover. So, you know.
You play it off.
I'll help you out.
Yeah. You know, but I'm the only female training officer, so
Cool.
It's a different level of respect. And then, like, they're still scared of, I guess I'm a fearful one, because they're still scared of me even when they're done. I'm like, we're equal now. You don't have to be scared of me, but
they probably don't want to disappoint you.
They call me angry one. So my partners are like, you're making her angry, and now we're all going to get yelled at. Like, we have this great group we work with. So, I mean, my partners are money. So I'm like the queen. They call me the queen stars because, like, I'm the only female. So if I get upset, they're like, now you made her upset. And then they just start going in.
That's awesome.
Jess, can I put you on the spot and ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You're probably one of the more talked about episodes that I've done. And something that has been talked about just in general conversation when people talk about you and about your episode is that people have said that they feel like you could, if you wanted to, like, run for office of some sort, just with your experience and the way that you're talking about everything and the way that people are responding to the way you talk about it. Is that anything you've ever thought about?
No. What I'm trying to do right now is, because I have a lot of youngsters that I'm overseeing, because, I mean, there's people that go through the academy that's like 40, like my age, or 40, or some people come through, they're close to 50. And then we've got a lot of youngsters we deal with, like the explorers, like the high school kids, some college kids. So I'm trying to use the platform that I have and be a role model for them, because I look at it as I can't change the mindset of these grown men and women that are in profession like as long as me or longer. But I can try to curb that. So I'm just using the energy I have, because I don't want to go off on somebody at work due to their ignorance, because then I'm probably going to get rolled up out of my position. I'm kind of because of how our sheriff is very rigid, and if you piss the wrong person off with his group of command staff, then I probably get rolled up out of my position, and I enjoy what I'm doing at the academy. So that's why I've been putting everything on paper and then, like, doing my pieces. But I didn't thought about running for no office. Might have to kill somebody. There's so much shit going on, man. Like, and then it's like, it's hard too, but it's nice that I can talk about it at home. You know what I mean? And, like, have a person, like, that understands both sides. Like, my husband understands both sides.
Yeah.
Like, my stepson understands both sides. I got family. My husband's god sister's a dispatcher for our department, and his niece is a non-sworn employee. So we got a lot of people we can talk about both sides. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out ways to get out earlier and start maybe working on, like, something to help make some changes in reform within law enforcement in regards to how the training is going. Knowing that I know, like, maybe try to work things, like my husband knows a guy and they work on, like, hands-on type things, and he used to be a defensive tactics instructor for he helped train me before my final. I did boxing stuff with him. So that's where my mind's at right now, like, thinking about what can I do to help be a change on a bigger level. I feel like I'm on a smaller level within where I'm at right now, but no political office, but just be a mouthpiece in a way to help make some changes. That's pretty much what I'm
make
looking
a difference for the future. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm trying, because it's like you see stuff, like, I have to, it's clenching my jaw at work. Like, my partners are money. They don't, nothing political. We don't talk about nothing political. People will come in for other things, and whether they're instructors or whether they're there for testing. Like I just had the other day, oh yeah, I feel this is justified, whatever. I just slide back in my chair or just walk out, because I'm like, I'm the only Black in that office, in that position at training. And then it's like, well, so it's like, I just remove myself. I'm like, you're entitled to your opinions, but I'm just like, you guys are too lucid with stuff. And I'm like, you don't have no respect for nobody else's mindset. And I'm like,
well, they're closed-minded. People can be closed-minded, and they don't pay attention to what other people might be sensitive to.
Yeah, and then they look at me as, well, you're one of us. Yeah, but when I go home, I'm a Black female, so I see both. I got both ends of the spectrum. Like, there's a lot of things that have occurred where there's been law enforcement officers getting in use of force, and it's been a kind of open and shut case, because you're like, well, you got a gun, or you got this, or this happened. But then there's a lot of things that are occurring where they're not, and they shouldn't have happened. So, it's unfortunate.
To Brad's point, it's not just about
take this time to say thanks to Brad, and let's do this again.
Yeah.
For sure.
So y'all have a good night.
You too,
I gotta
man.
put this
Too.
up.
All right, Eric.
You brother.
Bye.
Later, everyone.
Yeah.
So what Brad was saying, though, it's not necessarily just about office. Advocacy is almost just as important as the people who are running things. That could be an option for you. I mean, find a way to make that as important.
Brian, where did you meet your wife?
I met her on Match.com.
I thought you were going to say Yahoo Dating.
YahooDating.com. Well, it's kind of funny when you guys were all talking earlier. I was kind of relating to it about my first wife. I met her at Kavanaugh's in Manayunk. So the bar.
At a bar.
Wow, right, at a bar. And so I think that's the traditional way, right? And then my current wife I met on Match.com, and that seems to be working out much better. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I met Adam in college at a bar.
Yep.
Susie, and you met Joe
knows.
through Gina, but you worked at a bar, so that kind of counts.
There you go. Brad, you're a wise man for avoiding the bars for women.
For real.
I can't stay sober, and there's nothing worse. I realized earlier.
Brad, start staying sober, honey.
I feel like we need to have an intervention.
You'll do better.
Not at I can't at a bar. I just like to drink.
I don't think you can anywhere.
What? What'd you say?
I thought you were sober during our podcast, and you were like, "No one's ever had me sign their yearbook," and I was like, "You signed my yearbook," and you were like, "I drank a lot of sake."
I drank a bottle of sake on your interview.
You did, because I only drank a little. I was so nervous that I was going to say something stupid, so I didn't drink it.
Were you guys? Kelly. I was so nervous when I did my podcast too. I thought I didn't realize I had a lisp, and I heard myself talking with a lisp. I didn't know I had one until I heard it, actually. And then, because I went to speech therapy from like 3 years old till I was like in 6th grade. And I was like, great, my mom's going to be mad.
It's so slight, Rhiannon. It's like,
I know, but I was like, I had to I had to stutter and all this stuff. And I'm like, great, now I hear myself. But I was so nervous.
I went from like, I'm going to drink a lot of wine, Brad, to like, I can't drink anything because what if I say something? I don't
brought it all. You brought all the booze. You brought a bottle of rosé and a bottle of sake.
You told me a funny story about rosé, and then we had the Japanese connection, so I went with both.
I'm not complaining.
Thoughtful. That's thoughtful.
I'm not complaining at all. It was like extremely thoughtful. I was extremely appreciative.
But Ryan, you didn't drink during yours because you were hungover, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It was also 10 a.m. He's like, I can make it down there, absolutely. And then he gets there and he's like, oh, also last night I got fucking wasted.
Hammered.
Yeah. It was. I was hurt bad.
Susie, yours was at like 1 p.m. or 12 o'clock, so like we didn't drink it all for yours either. And then,
Susie, you didn't drink at all?
No, I just got home from Kyle's wedding in California. So I was like, I think I got home the day before, but still, yeah. But it was on a red eye, so I was still like kind of not good, but. And
it was your day off. Like it was your one day to not have to actually work in the city, and then you drove right to
where I was like, it's final drive-in. You're like, okay. But I did have to take Dave to the airport, so it was on my way anyway.
Okay.
It worked out.
Now, I stayed at your house, Brad, till like 6 a.m.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was like 4 a.m. Kelly, you stayed for a long time. I remember you were falling asleep when we were taking our picture.
So my husband thought I had gotten murdered. It was like a big ordeal because like he was like, so you're going to some guy's house in the city. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. Is this okay? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then I like put my phone down. 6 hours later, I pick it up and he's like, are you okay? Should I be worried? Like, are you murdered? Is he secretly a serial killer? Like, what's happening here?
And you were sober. What's that like to be with me who's drinking? You're sober the whole time.
I think you seem drunk. I don't know. We talked for a really long time, though. And I was like, oh, my God, it's been 6 hours. And my husband was like, I still, even to this day, is like, I don't know what you possibly could have talked about for 6 hours.
I think I talked for 6 hours, too. Well,
You talked, but we did like a we did like a 4-hour, I think, podcast, but we hung out for like another 4 hours. You and I. We just remember we made.
Oh, we went out.
We made drinks and went and got cheesesteaks on South Street.
That's right. We went to get cheesesteaks.
We sat on a bench and hung out for like.
We did.
We sat on a bench and hung out and talked for like another 45 minutes.
Yes. It was really nice.
I think we need to do brunch.
Yeah.
I'd say if you didn't have to go, I feel like that's where we were headed too. Like we probably would have just chilled, got lunch and all that.
I had a baby shower the next morning. I had like brunch with the girls. I remember I was lying to them. I didn't tell anyone.
You didn't want anyone to know you did the podcast.
Well, it's funny because Susie didn't want anyone to know she did the podcast, and then Susie, Elisa, and Chrissy and I have a group chat, and we would talk to each other every time there was a podcast. And then I decided that I was going to reach out to Brad, and I was like, do you remember? Do you know who I am? And then we're talking. He's like, oh my God, it's so funny. Susie's coming down. And then I texted our group chat, and Chrissy is like a mile a minute texter, like one word text, and it will be like 45 texts.
Like,
and,
oh my God, did you just?
What do you wasn't? Susie wasn't responding, and then she's like, "Is Susie on an airplane? Is she coming back from California right now? Well, she's coming back from the wedding. Where is she?" And then it's like there's like a time space, and then Susie's like, "Hello." It was so funny, just like the interaction. And then Brad's like, "I think I screwed up," because she didn't want us to know.
I just wanted it to just come out. Because they kept talking about it, and they're like, I wonder if Brad will ask me. I wonder if we'll be on or whatever it may be. And I was just like, because Chrissy was petrified of what I had to say. I don't know why. I didn't say anything.
Chrissy was?
Yes. She's like, what did you talk about? What did you say? I'm like, I don't know. We're just in high school. Like, nothing, like, incriminating. What happened incriminating to us in high school, Chrissy? Like, it's okay. But she was
I still like the old switcheroo story. That'll still be my favorite of all time.
Oh my God, that was a good story. How late did you guys stay up last night? Because I walked away when you talked about this. It was like
4 o'clock in the morning.
We did 8 hours last night.
He texted me at one point, and I was like, listen, I have drank way too much wine to jump on a podcast right now. So, and it was 10:30. I was like, I'm in bed right now.
Oh my God. Tom Scuderi came in at that point.
I wish I would have.
Yeah. Rachel Kim came on. Like, I was just texting with Rachel Kim, and then Alicia started talking about Rachel Kim, and then I text Rachel. I was like, what are you doing right now? And she's like, I'm watching something. And I was like, you have to, I sent her the link. I said, you have to click this now, log on now. And I'm like doing multiple ends.
So she just pops in. It's like, hey.
Yeah, she pops in, and we're like,
that's awesome.
Like, we can't hear her yet. And Alicia's like, oh my God.
Rachel!
Hi,
she can't hear you.
Alicia, I was trying to set it up. When we were texting it, I was texting her. I was like, you got to hop on right now. You got to hop on.
I've been hyping you up. Can you hear me? Nope.
Rachel, can you hear? Oh, wait.
She's connecting, Alicia. She's unimpressed with you. I'm really excited.
Hello.
You're on. We can't hear you, but it doesn't show mute, but we can't hear you.
But I'm so excited.
I can't. I don't. Shut.
Almost.
Oh, she's very low.
Almost.
Yeah, it's like turn your volume quiet.
Down.
Up.
Better.
Up. Go up.
Keep going up.
Or just yell.
I feel like Tom, did you hang out with Rachel too? Because we all lived in the same area. Me, Tom, Leslie, and Rachel.
We were on the bus.
We were all in the same. Yeah, we were all on the same bus. Do you remember Steve Johnson and Chris McQuaid was on our bus too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris McQuaid lived like 3 doors down from you, didn't he, Alicia?
Yes. He was on Evans with me. Well,
Tom, do your parents still live off Evans Road?
No, my parents live in South Carolina.
Oh, that's right. Did they live near Natalie's parents?
I don't know. Where do Natalie's parents live?
Her parents are, oh my God, they're like in that area. They're in the mountains. Not near Greensville, maybe?
My parents are like just off of Hilton Head, so they're like almost on the border of Savannah there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can hear you guys. You guys can't hear me?
We can hear you now.
You're just really low.
Okay. I'm here like, hi.
Hi.
haven't
to see
seen
you.
you guys in so long. This is
So I was
new.
talking about earlier, I got really excited to see you because I was saying how we were literally supposed to hang out right before the pandemic.
Yeah, I was just telling Brad that too. I was like, I wanted to hang out with Alicia so bad, and we said, okay, once everything, and I was like, once everything dies down, we'll definitely hang out. And it's been, what, 4, 5 months?
5 months.
Yeah,
Never happened. It's never happened.
It's
awful. Leslie, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, and we're birthday twins. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, I forgot we're birthday twins.
I was like listening to your episode, and I was like, that's my birthday twin.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's funny because I remember when I listened to Tom's that I was like, I know his birthday is like November 16th?
17th.
17th. But it's in November. And Natalie's is like November 27th?
No, October 27th.
October 27th. But
you're November
good
20th.
memory. You guys all have better memory than I do.
I know.
Wait a second. While we're talking about birthdays, Tom, when is your birthday?
November 17th.
Ha, I'm younger than you are. I thought so.
Yeah, you guys are the last
But
one.
Tom's a baby. Tom's like the
So you
youngest
must be
of our
baby
friends.
baby.
Yeah, you're younger than me?
Yeah, I'm November 29th. It was like Fran and Tui were younger than me, and you're just slightly older than me.
Interesting.
Wait,
83?
when were you born?
I was born in 83, but I was
me
November
too.
29th, 83.
Yeah, I always thought that I was like the youngest person in our class.
One of the youngest.
I
There's a
think
handful.
I'm the oldest. Because I'm 82.
I'm November 30th, 82.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You're 82, Rachel? Oh, so you're a year older than
Rachel's
me.
82. I remember that.
Oh.
When I was going to pre-K, they actually held me back because I didn't speak any English.
Got it.
Oh.
Except I spoke English.
Huh?
Same with me, but I spoke English. But they held me back. I went to first grade and then I went to kindergarten pre-first and then first grade.
Yeah. And I was like, all right. I mean, there's nothing I can do about not knowing English. Like, come on.
I mean, I was just stupid. But.
Wait, where did Leslie go?
Just think, if you hadn't been held back, you would have never made the podcast.
I know. Oh, it would have been awful.
Oh my gosh. And Tom, do you remember in 7th grade, we dated for like 3 days? And then you broke up with me by giving someone a note?
Yes.
I'm not surprised by that. What?
Yeah,
I remember
how we used to buy each other cookies to be like, oh, you should ask Doug out, or oh, you should ask so and so out. I'll buy you a cookie. It was like me, Heather, you, Tom, and Doug.
Yeah, and Doug King, I also dated for like 2 weeks because we were on the same school bus. And then he broke up with me too because I moved and we were no longer on the same school bus.
Has anybody heard from Doug? I feel like he's like super mysterious and
he's been talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Doug went from like my best friend to didn't know where he was in like an instant. Haven't heard from him in 15 years, I'd say.
So anyone I've ever asked about Doug, no one knows anything about him.
Training high jump skiers. That's what Chris Warren says.
Wait, Tom, do you keep in touch with Doug?
No, I was just talking about that. And I, in fact, even like 5 years ago, I could still remember Doug's parents' phone number at their house. So I called his parents and left a message at Christmas and was like, Merry Christmas. Just wondering where Doug is, if you can like get me a number. And they never called back. But like,
oh, wow.
That's so sweet though.
We didn't have like we didn't have a falling out or anything like that, but he literally just like
he disappeared.
I actually know exactly how that feels.
So you guys were talking about something a few minutes ago. I just want to kind of circle back to it. How many of us had middle school relationships? Like just out of curiosity. 0?
I feel like I went out with Tom, Doug, everyone.
I didn't really have boyfriends in middle school.
Nope.
I feel like I remember a grade school
But all my friends
relationship for
did.
Alicia.
Yeah, definitely, Tom. And that's why I wrote that in your yearbook. I hope you find a girl who like can stand you because you're a pain in my damn ass.
I feel like I remembered you like kissing Richie Valiga
Yes.
on the playground, and it was like
Richie Valiga.
Poor Richie Valiga.
Richie
Yes.
was Kelly Brooks' boyfriend, but he went to a private high school. He was in our neighborhood, so he went to
He went to elementary school with us.
at Bluebell.
And in fourth
I know.
grade, he gave me a little like cubic zirconia pair of earrings or a necklace or something.
So sweet.
And then he dated Melissa Morgantan for like in elementary school.
They used to kiss on the playground.
Yes, like Richie Valiga was very advanced with giving gifts and with dating in elementary school.
Were you guys in the pod together?
Yeah. We were in C-Pod.
C-Pod.
And I was saying that in my episode. I was like, I remember it was Alicia, Heather, me, and do you remember Wendy?
Yeah.
Wendy hit.
Yeah.
Wendy
Wendy hit.
We were friends with her. I played softball with her.
Gwendolyn.
Yeah,
and then she moved. No, wait, she switched schools.
She lived in Jill Monteleone's neighborhood, right?
Yes. Oh my God. Do you remember Jill Monteleone's parties? They were so fun. Wait, can we get back to what Brad talks about in every podcast, how he didn't sign anyone's yearbook because he thinks that he was like the dorkiest shit on earth when this motherfucker was actually friends. Mike Claiborne, I bet you I could find some shit.
Dorkiest, disliked.
No, you're so weird. Nobody disliked you, you weirdo. Stop being weird.
Actually, there was a brief moment where I disliked you, Brad, and I remembered it when we were talking about parties earlier.
Obnoxious, but I didn't dislike you.
So we were at a party, Brad, at Ellen Opplinger's house, and she had mud wrestling for whatever reason. I don't remember
that was her graduation party.
Yeah. You pushed me in. I had no change of clothes. I told you I had no change of clothes, and you were just like, no, you're going in. You just pushed me in, and I was just like muddy for the rest of I had to like sit in the mud pit. And I was like, I don't like that guy. And then I got over it. So you're cool. You're fine.
Yo, Ellen
That's what I used to do.
Cool,
That's it. That exactly.
For that night, you were not my friend.
That was graduation. That was the last time I saw you until I asked you to go podcast.
Just that night, I was just like, no, we're out.
I kind of remember that. I fought Vern in a mud pit, in a mud wrestling match, and I thought, I like wrestling. I know moves. I'm gonna put him in like an arm bar or something.
Wasn't he a wrestler?
Vern was like strong as shit. Vern used to lift trucks for fun.
Like, who does this?
Like, I like remember him. Didn't he like wrestle in his little singlet?
He whooped my
The only memory I have.
Of Vern? Vern Cheatham?
Oh my God, Vern whooped my ass.
And his sisters, Nora.
And
Wendy.
Yeah.
Nora.
Vern's
They
a boy.
played softball with us, Alicia.
Yes, that's why I know them.
I probably text Vern like every day. So yeah, you got beaten in a mud wrestling match.
Oh, he whooped my ass, and I had scrapes and shit. And I was like, I thought Ellen said this was like clean mud.
Oh yeah, there were rocks, dude. There were rocks in so much of my clothes. Like you have no idea. That's why I didn't want to go in. I was still like super awkward. So I was like, I don't know how to, like, I can't talk to people.
See, that's
I wasn't a cool kid. I wasn't invited to this mud wrestling situation. So.
I don't know why Ellen invited me to stuff.
That sounds amazing.
I was in chorus, so I think like I had to be invited because everyone I knew was invited.
Yeah, Brad, you talk a lot about like not being invited to parties, and I'm hearing about mud wrestling in high school.
Right?
Yeah, the only thing I went to was at the Hunt Club one time, and everybody was like getting drunk and shit, and I was like, what? Like, I felt so out of place. Like, it was cool kids and me. I don't know how I got there.
Yeah, talking to Tom Beal the other night, he's like talking, and I was like, he goes, yeah, just like hanging out with you and Scott and Ray and everyone. I was like, oh shit, I think I went to your graduation party too at the Firehouse. He's like, yeah, in Center Square. I was like, oh yeah, I was there.
Oh shit, that sounds familiar. Did I go to that?
So that's another one, I guess. I forgot I hung out with Tom. Like,
You're literally the worst. I just saw J1 last weekend. Wait, and I asked J1, did he listen to Tom's episode? And he said no. And I said, that's kind of fucked up. And he was like, but everything that Tom talked about, I would know about because I was his best friend. And I was like, yeah, but it's different.
That's a cop-out, J1.
That's what I said.
You didn't really talk about Jay that much.
It's different listening to the podcast and from your friend's perspective, because I was like, he talked about how you guys used to go into English Village and you would break into the pizza place. And J1 was like, oh my God, I remember that. Like that happened and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, well, you could listen to it like from Tom's perspective and how you guys used to like camp out in his backyard and his parents thought you were like legit camping out. And like, he was like, yeah, we used to do that too. And
wait, and how about how we used to break into Jay's garage because his parents had all their backup inventory from their stores in his garage.
I still have a lot of guilt over that. There was definitely some mistreatment over Jay's house for sure.
But he should listen.
He knew we were doing it. They always had so much candy in their garage.
If you guys didn't know, Jay's parents own a Korean convenience store somewhere in Philly, so they kept all their inventory in their garage.
Oh wow!
So Jay would be like, "Don't go."
We just go candy shopping.
Go in there and grab a pack of Starbursts, and you always had good beverages in there.
I'm eating Starburst right now.
But I remember
from J1's store.
That was the point.
They're not. They're from Instacart.
It was to the point where he would have to pat Doug down before he left the house because there was
because he wore those
and,
baggy
candy in the
jeans.
pants.
Yep.
Jenkos.
Doug was king at Janko. Did you wear them too, Daniel? I always felt like they were so cool, but I couldn't find long enough one, and I didn't skateboard.
Hey, I actually do gotta go. I gotta be at work in 4 hours.
Sorry, Tom.
Oh goodness.
It was so good to see you. Okay, I'm really going too, you guys. I tried to go an hour ago. Keep sucking me back in.
The tea is real.
It was great to see y'all.
Bye, guys.